So I've been umming and ahhing for quite some time about getting a dash cam in the car. I think they're becoming more and more common. I think by law in some countries you have to have them. I'm not entirely sure. Russia, maybe? I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments. Anyway, seems a good idea. You don't want to have some jerk cause an accident and then be claiming it's your fault. It certainly helped that I had my GoPro on my helmet when I got knocked off last summer on my bike. I believe it proved that I was not at fault. So I've finally plumped for, after a reasonable amount of sort of research, the Mini 0805 by E-Prance. Now, you do see a lot of these, sort of this model, under different names, so I'm not sure. I don't think E-Prance actually make it. I think they might just be a distributor. I don't know, I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, the Mini 0805 has a lot of good reviews. So I thought that's the one I would go for. Auto recorder and power on. Look, that's to me that's quite important. But at the same time, I don't think my cigarette. So this will plug into the cigarette lighter. I don't think they power off when the ignition does. So I might have to look. There we go. Look, automatic power off after vehicle engine shuts off. So I'm not sure that's going to work for me. We'll have to see. We'll see how we go. G-sensor lock can keep fast. So it basically tries to detect if there's an accident by its G-sensor, and if it thinks there has been an accident, it stores that bit of information for you, that bit of video for you. All the other video files get overwritten. As the memory card fills up, it automatically overwrites. 120 degree wide angle lens with full 1296p HD video resolution. Now, I didn't realize 1296p was a thing, and I think basically that's just saying that is the resolution through the one through the upright, like 1080p would be, or 720p. Like it's 1920 by 1080p, for example. So this is 2000 odd by 1296. That's fine. Lane departure warning system. That'll be interesting. And loop recording, kind of as I say, it just records over the top. Okay, they've not ticked any there. So this should have the GPS tracker in it, I believe. And my understanding is that the GPS tracker is built into the mount. So you can get them with or without the GPS tracker. So in we go. So I particularly was looking for one. Oh, did that really flash at me just then? I was particularly looking for a model that would be relatively discreet. But also what I liked with this version is you can clip it in and out of the mount as much as you wish, basically. So as you park up, if it's in a dodgy area, you could take it away and put it in the glove compartment. I guess the idea is, I think this one, although I didn't read it on the back there, I think it has sort of a motion sensing option. So something that happens in front of your car, it basically starts recording. No, I thought that was supposed to rotate. Oh, I see. So I was trying to spin the outside dial there, but actually it's the inside bit that moves. The outside bit stays as it is. So in other words, that would slide into mount as such, and then you could spin around holding the dial bit. Fair enough. Okay. So all in all, that's not too big. It's not too bulky. I guess that's a mic input there. That's a USB, an HDMI out, a slot for the micro SD card. Let's see if it has any power in it initially. How do we... Getting a blue flash, but not much else. Let's pop that aside and just check what else is in the box. So there is the mount. So again, you plug your power into the base, into the mount. That's going to stick on the windscreen somewhere. And then obviously the camera, not that way around. I wonder if it goes either way. The camera will slide in and, will take its power from the mount. Looks like we have a spare sticky pad should we need it, if we maybe decide to move the position. We've got a regular micro USB cable. I guess we can connect to the computer. And then we have obviously the power supply in this instance is for the cigarette lighter. You can get hardwire kits so it can go straight in, and that's what I might have to do. I might have to, if I want it to be linked to my ignition. I basically don't want to have to be remembering to start recording when I set out on a journey, because I just know I'm going to forget to do that at some point, basically. I'm just looking to double check what HDMI port TF got. Yeah, what's on the 2 and 3 USB port? AV out port. Sorry, it's AV out, not like a mic in. Product features. Support for up to 64 gig. That's annoying because I've got a 128 spare at the minute, but I guess I can't use that. The accessories, as mentioned. If the vehicle recorder, video recorder, is connected to 12 watt 24 volt socket, the camera starts operation automatically when the car starts. So that'll be interesting, because I'm not sure that that's the case with mine. Okay, some instructions of, there we go, some motion detection. It will start recording automatically if there is any motion in the video without pressing any button. Which, so that's what I'm hoping. If I'm parked up and somebody reverses into me and then drives away, it would be quite handy to have them on tape. Okay, so I don't think there's a great deal more I can do if there's no power to the unit at the moment. I guess I'll pop it on charge for a little while, or I'll just stick it in the car and I'll come back to you then. So what I've actually done, as you can see, I've plugged it into the mains just for now so that we can have a look through the actual operation. I've also run a quick firmware update, quite simple. I googled Mini 0805 firmware download, some mini dashcam.com or dashcamtalk.com, something like that. Pop the file onto the SD card, put the SD card in, turned it on, it says, oof, update available. You say, yes, please. Oh, look, we're recording then, let's just turn that off. So, it's recording again. Can I not stop it from? Anyway, we hold down the up arrow to get into the menus. There's a few different resolution options. Hopefully you can see this. So I switched it over to basically 1080p. I presume that 45p, is it? 16:9. So I'm assuming that's like a frame rate. 30p, that would, normally that would signify the frame rate. And you generally want quite a high frame rate if you can, so I'm tempted to do that one actually, 1280. So 720p, but it's 60 frames a second. So if something real quick happens in front of you, you get a better, hopefully you manage to get a better freeze frame of it. Let's go back to the 45 one. I'll leave it on the 45. There we go. So quality, super fine, normal. So those are our options. Photo size, so we're on 4 meg. Again, I hope you can see all this. 913. Let's go with 9 meg. Photo quality, the same as we had with the video, super fine. Then we get the sort of light detection. I'm going with average. I've got to be honest, I'm not sure what this ADAS bit was. I'm going to skip that for now. Someone in the comments will tell me. I'll probably, if I get the blooming manual out, I could have another look. What was this? Flicker. So okay, auto flicker reduction. White balance, auto, that's fine. EV, so I think that's if we can adjust kind of white balance. Recycle, this is how often does it record over the old footage. You can have it every 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute off. I'll go for 5 minutes, that's fine. I've got a fairly big card. If you've got a smaller card, you might want to go with a shorter time, I suppose. Motion detection, this is kind of the sensitivity or off, so we'll go middle. Time setup. Yeah. Do you know what? That was almost right. I'm not quite sure how it. Maybe I just needed maybe I should actually put the +1 on. Anyway, auto power off. 3 minutes. Yeah, why not? Power off screen. 1 minute. Stamp. So we get to. I want the time. Yeah. So that all the videos will have the date and time on it. GPS stamp on for So velocity stamp. We can have the speed on the video. Is that a bad idea? Good idea? Probably bad idea. G sensor sensitivity. So this for like the collisions, I suppose. I have no idea what's going to be good for that. GPS is on. Speed unit. Well, it's off anyway, I suppose. I don't know what difference that makes. We can format the card, and then here's the software version. So right now, so I've just flashed 2015 0423 version 1.0. So there we go. To come back out, we hold the up arrow down. So actually, if you couldn't see before, there is the screen. And that's quite a wide angle. Look how close I am to the box, where you guys can't even particularly see. I'm so close to the box, but it's getting the whole box in the image. That's pretty good. Now, I think when it's recording, if we hold down up arrow, it's supposed to take a picture. I don't know if that has or not. I'm going to try and stop it again. What does down arrow do if I hold it down? Just add a bit. Oh. So actually, even the little speaker. That's interesting. So down arrow takes me to. Does up arrow bring me back? No, down arrow bring me back. So yeah, down arrow basically takes me to kind of the memory card. How do I get back out of there? Down arrow again. Oh, have I just formatted it? Did I just format it? Wow. Oh, that's photo. Sorry. Who? Look, see in the corner it says photo. We're back to flaming recording again. So it seems like that rotates me through video, hold it down again, photo, hold it down again. We're back to regular operation. Is it going to start filming again? No. So, yes, it is. Which obviously I want, when I'm in the car, I want it to, and there's power. I'm just not sure. Stop, gosh darn it. Right, let's go ahead and, can we turn it off? There we go. Got this splash screen of like a Corvette or something on it now. Anyway, so there you go. Initial impressions, pretty good. Now, just to get it installed in the car, I suppose, and we'll get some sample footage as well. So I mounted it kind of almost hidden where the rear view mirror is. I don't think it's massively noticeable from a distance. Obviously, as you get closer, you can see it quite clearly. I want it to be relatively subtle. I don't like having tech too visible on view. You're almost encouraging people perhaps to break in, but at the same time, dash cams, they're not that expensive. Would someone really go to the trouble to nick it? The cable you get is almost perfectly long enough, so I've kind of run it a little bit messily along the edge at this point through the glove box. And as you can see, it's almost the perfect length to then fit into the cigarette lighter. I have moved that now. I've run it a bit neater, and this goes to a port down by the seat, the passenger seat. So we move on to a bit of actual footage of me driving through Barnet at this point. Nice sunny day, very clear. This is in 1080p mode, the 45 frames a second version. I think it looks great, nice, crisp, sharp. And you kind of expect it in these kind of conditions, almost perfect conditions for a dash cam. We do cut to a moment where you see reflection and glare from the dashboard kind of hazing out the view a little bit. But all in all, pretty good picture, I would say. You can read number plates, you can see clearly everything that's going on. We do move on to some lower light conditions in a moment where you can't necessarily read number plates, but I'm not sure that's all that important. Really, you want to be able to see, if someone claims I didn't pull out in front of you, you're not necessarily debating over what their license plate was and who, it's them. You just want to be able to see what happens. So here you can see like the glare off the dashboard. It's not a massive problem, but it is noticeable. And on bright sunny days, as we see here, we're probably not going to have that problem too much in the UK. Anyway, so we're going to move on to the low light next. I'm going to let the sound come back in just so you can kind of hear the microphone in action. Here we go. So, I mean, yeah, you can't read number plates, but actually the detail is pretty good. This was rather low light. It doesn't look it perhaps so much on this camera. It does a relatively good job in the low light. We move up this lane here and you see it starts getting a bit darker and darker and you can't see much of what's going on. But if there was a car there with its lights on, probably even without its lights on, you would see it and you would be able to see what it did. And I think that's probably the more important thing. So now we move into the actual nighttime sample. This bit, obviously, there's no lighting apart from my headlights. My headlights aren't the brightest, if I'm honest. So yeah, you can almost see nothing. But then again, as a car appears, you can see everything that the car does. So if you ever had to contest something, you would see. Then I'll give you a brief moment of me talking so you can hear the microphone as well. An opportunity perhaps to test out the mic on the Mini 0805. How do I sound? I wonder. How does the car sound? So actually, I don't think the mic sounds too bad. You wouldn't necessarily be vlogging using this thing, but it's even to the point that it can hear my indicators. I quite like that because that might be something that could be contested. You know, you turn across and someone says, "Oh, you weren't indicating." Well, actually, you can hear on my video that the indicator was going. The quality, pretty tough conditions for any camera really, without using kind of extra lighting and flashes and such. And I don't think it's too bad. You see here, as I'm driving through Barnet. You can pretty clearly see what's going on. If anything did happen, I think this will provide pretty good evidence of showing what went on, and hopefully that you're innocent. So all in all, I'm quite impressed by it. It's only, well, right now this one's only £78. It does have also GPS logging built in, so you can use the application that sort of installs itself on the SD card when you plug it in to view actually where you were as well on Google Maps or Google Earth, with other bits of information as well should you want them, like speeds and stuff like that, which could be quite handy. If you, I don't know, if you're going for quite a funky drive, you want to be able to see where it was that you went. That could be quite useful. There is also motion detection. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not. So in theory, because my cigarette lighter is always on, so to speak, it can detect motion in front of the car and record a 10-second clip. Now, in my brief use of it, I did find that I got like rain on the windscreen. I got trees blowing. But every now and then there was actual movement that it recorded, people in their cars, but not all movement. So some people I know went home from work and had their cars parked next to me and it didn't record them driving away. All in all, a pretty useful device. I can't use it. I mean, in some ways I'd quite like if my ignition linked to the cigarette lighter, so that as I turn the car on, it just automatically recorded. I don't have to worry about starting or stopping. But at the same time, if you have that, I don't think you can have the motion sensitive and detect things moving in front of the car. Also, I didn't mention the mount seems quite easy, or it is quite easy to remove the device when you want. So quite handy if you were to just take it out and put it in the glove box, so it's not always on display. But there you go. This is the E-Prance Mini 0805.